Have you ever done something stupid? I know we're not supposed to use that word, so you children don't use it. But there is times that word is perfect. It's a word meaning that you didn't think through what you were supposed to do, and it was so dumb that it ends up becoming just plain out and out stupid. And I can't believe it. The whole cabin was kind of laying all around in logs. My friend Greg Joner and his team, where the log cabin was made in the factory, and the whole crew had almost assembled everything but the roof, and it still needed a lot to go. And then they told me that I needed to add more money to the project, and guess what? I ran out of money. Well, I've never been very good in math, and this was a fiasco mathematical calculation. I was short about $100,000. So the project came to an end. My dream and vision by faith to have this cabin built just poof, vanished in the air. So what did I do? I got all knotted up inside, anxious, troubled, and worried. I didn't sleep. I was upset with myself. And just day after day after day of this trauma and turmoil, what was I going to do? And on top of that, Greg told me, if you don't get these logs in position and all placed, and the rebar set in place and all the bolts put together, they'll start warping. So all the logs that are laying around here that we're supposed to put up on the walls and finish up the inside walls, they're going to get twisted, and you might as well just use them for firewood. And I thought, man, now I've got a time crunch. Where am I going to get this kind of money? And do you know what? I was making the bunk beds in San Antonio, where we lived, actually the hill country, and I was making them out of the logs on our property, and they're beautiful, and they're all cedar, and everything was being assembled when I got word of this happening. I didn't know what to do. So trauma and turmoil, making the beds. So I thought, well, I might as well just stop making the beds. That's ridiculous. Why should I make beds for a place that will never materialize? I'll just have a basement, and I'll just come and live in the basement with Marilyn, and our family would be like a 2-bedroom basement with just a flat roof, and then above it all these logs without a roof on them. It'd be really corny, dumb, stupid. It would look horrible. And so what I did, I just decided I'm going to keep making the beds. Do you know why I did that? Because faith does what it's supposed to do. I'm just going to finish the beds off, and then I won't make any more furniture. Well, as I was at Walt Goforth, my daughter married into the Goforth clan, and I was at Walt's house using his table saw for my bed project, I got a phone call on my mobile phone. It was one of those old-fashioned flip phones that came out long ago. And I answered the phone, and the guy said, we want to buy the royalties on your song. It's about to expire, and we want to be the publishing house that picks up the royalties and the production of that song. We want to be your publishing house. Well, the song was called Angelized by Earl Brent. That's another story, another devotion. And I said, well, I don't know anything about that. Sure. You know, like how, he said, he kept saying, well, we're going to pay you for that. So finally, I asked the $1 million question, well, what are you going to pay me to just pick up the rights to publish it and expire the other company and give you the rights? He says, well, we know this song is a classic, and it's going to be playing from years to years. I know in 1950 it was published, and it hasn't stopped playing. Frank Sinatra, Willie Nelson, Ella Fitzgerald, and he named several very well-known crooners and jazz singers picked it up and been singing it over the years. And he says, so we think it's worth to you $120,000. We'll cut you a check for $120,000. I was so shocked the phone fell out of my ear because I was trying to cut and work on this table saw with my logs, and it just fell on the sawdust. So I calmly just blew everything all off, and I go, well, let me talk to a royalty, a lawyer, and find out what is going on. And he goes, yep, that's no problem. This is all legit. It's above reproach. We are a legitimate company. I go, well, I'll get back with you. Well, they sent me the contract, and I went to a lawyer in Nashville to look over the contract. He said, everything's above board. This is a legitimate contract, and you will be getting paid as they request. So 2 to 3 weeks later, after all the paperwork was done, signed off on it, a check came in the mail for $120,000, and guess what I did with it? I took Marilyn out to dinner. No, well, yes, I had to. But on top of that, I put that money into the chalet, and it finished the project. So, the moral of the story, the Drone Bear Paws devotion is this: leave it in the hands of the Lord. And I had to get to that place. Before the money even came during those 1 or 2 or 3 weeks in turmoil, I came to the point that this is what I said. I said, Lord, I can't bear this any longer. This is not my place, it's your place. And I'm going to be happy and content with such things that you give me. So I'll have a basement, praise God, and we'll rollerblade on the roof of the basement and have fun, and we'll get the kids to camp up there on the top of the basement roof. And they'll have the logs for shelter and protection. No roof above them, but I made the best of it. And I literally had peace. A peace came over me. A peace that no matter what happens, I will be content with such things as I have. And God honored that. When He finally saw that I let go and died to this vision and trusted Him, He performed a miracle on my behalf. Had He never done it, I would be just as content today sitting on a stump or a log with an unfinished, grayed out cabin, but God fulfilled it. And that's the goodness of God when you trust Him. Father knows best. I'll leave you with this word to pause and ponder.